300 to 400 people in Aurora have been displaced tonight after an explosion at an apartment building in that city. It happened at the Parkside Collective near the intersection of Sable and Alameda. Fire department still doesn't know why it happened. 3 people had minor injuries in this. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon has talked to neighbors who heard strange noises just before this explosion. She's live near that apartment tonight. Courtney.
Yeah, Steve, take a look at where this explosion happened just before 10 a.m. this morning. Aurora Fire says it happened near electrical equipment and the elevator. Before it happened, residents reported a strange noise that was hard for them to describe, a kind of staticky, wobbling sound that seemed to be coming from fans and vents. Soon after they heard those noises, the fire alarms went off, they evacuated, and they watched the explosion happen from outside.
And at first I heard some cackling, and I thought it was just like the fan. So I turned it off, and it stopped for a bit, but then we heard it cackling again.
Before the explosion, residents say they heard strange noises.
Almost like if you're ripping up paper, or not ripping up paper, when you're crumbling paper. So I thought it was a fan unit or something.
Joe Pham says they tried to investigate where the sound was coming from, but couldn't figure it out.
First of all, my fans just stopped working. Like it was starting to do like a wobble noise, pretty much.
Something similar happened to Ash Fox.
Like instead of the straight fan noise, like white noise, it was like going in and out, and like it sounded like it lost power, but then it gained power again. So it just was a bunch of weird stuff going on with electricity before it happened.
Then that's when the fire alarms went off. Aurora Fire says they were called here because a resident saw smoke.
So we ran down here, stood by the grassy area, and we saw smoke coming out of like the little vents. And then I think like 10 or 15 minutes later, it exploded. So all the debris just fell off, and there was an ambulance right in front of us, and I'm pretty sure someone got hit. But it was just crazy.
Aurora Fire says 3 people were injured, though those injuries were minor. The explosion happened near electrical equipment, the elevator, and what looks like utility meters.
My voice started shaking, and I was shaking for a while. It really shook me up.
Fox says there weren't any flames, only white smoke.
So anxious. I'm mostly worried about the animals. That's like the number one thing I'm worried about. Like clothes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Everything else is replaceable, but the animals aren't.
Tonight, she'll have to stay somewhere else, along with 300 to 400 other residents, as investigators try to determine the structural integrity of the building.
I don't know, try not to worry too much about this, but I know I will be. I just hope that everyone's okay.
The Red Cross is assisting families who have been displaced tonight. It's not known how long it'll be until they can get back into their units. Xcel Energy was on scene today, as well as Aurora Fire and police. Officials have not said what they think the cause of this is yet, and they haven't commented on the structural integrity of this building either. There's a bunch of businesses that are in front of the apartment buildings there, and those were all closed down earlier today. Steve?
It'll be interesting to see what the cause of this was, because that looks like a relatively new building behind you.
Definitely a new building. They broke ground in 2019, according to their website, and they opened in 2021. So a really new building. A lot of the residents were talking about that too, that they were just surprised that with such a new building that something like this would happen. But it's really kind of a mystery. No flames, no black smoke, only white smoke. It'll be interesting to find out what it is.
And just a giant gaping hole in the side. Courtney Yoon, thank you.